Shadow Resources Minister Susan McDonald joining us live from Mackay in Queensland. Good to speak to you, Susan. Congratulations on what you're doing on energy and nuclear. It's been too tough for governments of all persuasions, state and federal, for so many decades in this country. But I want to get back to this argument Zali Steggall was running, and I want to know why the coalition doesn't contest this argument. Why don't you actually point out that the sort of stuff we're hearing from her and the Greens and even the left of Labor, pretending that our actions will change the climate, is absolutely nutty, as insane. I mean, sure, you can say we need to do our bit to fit in with the rest of the world, but don't pretend that what Australia does is going to turn us into the land of milk and honey.
It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? And these loopy propositions from the Teals and the Greens are absolutely ridiculous. And what we're seeing from Labor right across the country is not about having a sensible, practical discussion with Queenslanders and Australians. It's about a scare campaign. It's about not acknowledging that the rest of the leading economies in the world are using nuclear energy. This is all practical things that we want to adopt in Australia. But most importantly, Chris, we want to have the discussion with Australians in advance of the election and let them make up their own minds. I think Australians are ready to have that discussion, and they won't be put off by these kind of childish games that are being played and the ridiculous propositions being put forward by particularly the Teals and the Greens, parties that never have to come up with governing solutions. They're just, alarmist, and their rhetoric is wrong.
Yeah, good on you for treating voters like adults. And of course, people are up for this debate. They can see we need energy, and nuclear is the way if we don't want emissions. But what about your own colleagues in the LNP there in Queensland? You're going through an election campaign at the moment. They don't want a bar of it. They're saying that they won't abide a nuclear reactor in Queensland.
Well, I think what they've been very clear about is that they are going to get in and provide the maintenance on Callide Power Station. They're going to ensure that there is still affordable baseload power being dispatched for Queenslanders, whether it be families or businesses, in the near term.
Let me jump in though, but if they're likely to be the government after the election, do you think that they're seriously opposed to nuclear energy, or they're just trying to put this one off until the election? In which case, shouldn't they be upfront with people about what their real attitude is to nuclear power?
Well, I think that they're addressing what they can before them, which is that the current restrictions on nuclear energy in the EPBC and other places is out of their control. And so for that reason, they are addressing the levers that they possibly can, which is providing electricity to Queenslanders at an affordable rate. That is why it's so important that we continue to have the affordable energy being generated by Callide and other power stations across Queensland, working to its maximum capacity right now, and not doing what Labor's done. They have never been upfront with Queenslanders about running down the maintenance on these power stations, about not providing a clear pathway for a transition. It's been all eggs in one basket with renewables. It's destroying regional communities. It's breaking up families and agricultural places. That's the kind of trickery that Labor has been involved in. I think that David Crisafulli has been very clear about he will get back to the business of what he can do right now.
And we definitely need much more gas no matter what we do. I'll get you back on soon to talk about gas and some of the threats to expanding gas production in the country. Thanks for joining us, Susan.